Welcome back. You're tuned into Bazaar Morning Call here on CNBC-TV18. As promised, Amnish Aggarwal, Head of Research at Prabhudas Lilladher, joins us. Hi, Amnish. Thanks a lot for joining in. Well, I wanted to ask you on Interglobe Aviation. It's been a dream stock, made big returns, holds bulk of the market share as well. But now you have, large trade that will take place. Earlier, we had Mr. Gangwal that sold some stake. Now you have Mr. Bhatia as well that will be taking some money off the table. Your approach to this particular stock?
You see, Indigo has done particularly well. If you look at last year or so, the stock has moved up very sharply and actually defies the logic. Usually, there's a saying that airlines rarely make money. But I think currently we are sitting in a very sweet spot, more than 60-65% market share, fast-growing economy, lot of, you can say, pent-up demand, which is there. But in terms of financial, everything seems intact. Now, as far as promoters reducing the stake is concerned, I think, yes, both of them have been cutting down or paring their stake. And I think it is a second or third occasion it is happening. But I think it will not have much bearing on the stock, at least in the longer term. But yes, if the stock they are holding comes down below a certain level, then obviously then it goes on the lines of like we have got many professionally driven companies, but then you need very strong hands to run that. But as of now, I think it's not alarming or is not something which should stop any, you can say, any view on the company, which should change any view, basically.
Amnish, just, getting back to a lot of the political announcements that have happened in the last few days. Yesterday was the first cabinet meeting, and the first decision of Modi 3.0 was about extending the benefits of the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, Grameen. So 3 crore more rural houses to be constructed. I don't know, what's the stock market play? Should you look at housing finance companies focused on the rural areas? Should you look at some sort of, home improvement stocks? Because home improvement stocks are more linked to the big urban housing push, right? Either you play builders. How do you play some of these rural themes like Grameen housing?
It's very tough to play. For example, when it comes to the basic materials, for example, you will consume cement, okay, you will consume steel, but the steel there also will not be something which will come from, say, whether it is Tata Steel or JSPL in terms of, say, your long steel. So cement is a very direct play on that. That is one. Then to some extent, some of the companies which are into, say, wires and cables, they could benefit. The companies which are into PVC piping and all, they will benefit. Even, say, in terms of whether it translates into your other building material like a wood panel, etc., or sanitary ware. So that is something which is not seen, because usually the usage of non-branded mass market products and many products of the companies which are not in the listed space, that has been seen in the past. But I think broadly for the economy, it should be a booster, but particularly for the basic items, whether it is, you can say, cement, like I said, wires and cables, okay, to some extent, I would say pipes, etc. I think there seems to be the clear-cut beneficiaries. Even in terms of housing finance, the ones which will benefit will be the, you can say, rural or the low-cost housing. So no very big companies, okay, are likely to be the major beneficiaries of any such.
Not big, but any of the smaller housing finance companies that you focus on, the ones that may have a portfolio that has greater exposure towards tier 2 cities, the urban poor or tier 2 or semi-rural. Any such housing finance names you want to place on the radar?
Okay, you see, the houses which are usually built under the PM Awas Yojana, so the capital outlay on them is very low. So I think even the stocks like maybe, say, Canfin, or maybe I think even those may not qualify. Some of these you can say absolute, your low-cost housing companies will qualify for that, but we don't have any firm view on these companies as of now.
Okay, all right. No, got that. Amnish, a lot of block sales, right, back to the market, and large ones. There is Indigo, Honasa, IRB, and more coming is what we're hearing. Any quick thoughts?
The main thing is, if you look at, many people would have been waiting on the sidelines because of the elections. Now elections out of the way, market doing well, outlook on monsoons positive. Okay, I think it is now the time that some of these private equity players or some of these promoters, they might look at, say, taking some money off, because there might be some lurking fear or some fear in the background that how will this government perform now? Will there be change in some policies which can happen? Because whatever was there in the election results are also indicative of some change in the trend or something which the current regime might need to do on the ground. So I think usually now with the, you can say, the clarity being there is bound to be, you can say, some reallocation here and there. And I think that there is nothing which is very extraordinary in this.
Abneesh, thanks for waiting by. Yesterday tech-related stocks were lower. Maybe the fear that, the Fed will not cut as soon as expected. I was looking at the Fed rate tracker as well. Now they're factoring in just one rate cut, and that too in November. But give and take everything, how do you approach the tech space, and what do you like from there?
Tech stocks continue to be weak, mainly because the visibility on the spends has not been that great. Now, if you look at the current situation, I think we are going to have election in several countries. Now, everything depends upon, first of all, the pickup in the, you can say, US and European markets. That is one. And second is the interest rate scenario. Now, if you look at the domestic setup, perhaps IT services is the only sector today which has got valuations comfort and some hope that once the interest rates get cut, there will be revival in the growth rates. So due to that, I think maybe next 1 or 2 quarters, the growth outlook still remains a little bit hazy, or it doesn't seem to be picking up. However, in the long term, there is hope that the growth rates will eventually revive, and that is why there could be some interest in the tech stocks as we go ahead, purely because of the valuations and because they have underperformed significantly from here on. Now, as far as your tech space is concerned, I think at the current level, one can you can say look at some of the stocks like, for example, LTI Mindtree is there. On the longer term, LTTS also continues to look good, and as are the stocks like, say, TCS.